Wednesday, April 11th. First order of business is privilege of the floor. I think we will then move right to Tim.
Sure.
Most efficient use of Tim's time, and I guess this is a discussion about our stairway.
Correct, the stairway. Stairway to heaven. Town Square.
Just to bring everybody up to date who's online, there is a plan which has not yet been approved by DES to put articulated concrete blocks on either side of the dam. And we are under a consent order to get this done by January of 2020. The plan or the engineering that we have right now proposes to attach the articulated concrete block to a knee wall or a short wall to anchor it down, as opposed to attaching the block to the building. Okay. And then behind that knee wall, we had proposed putting in a stairway so that people could still get to the lower level, down where the patio is for luncheons and that type of thing. So this stairwell was going to be attached to the building. However, we did have a meeting and with all of the affected parties, including the folks that came in from Town Square, and said, we'll take your input on what it is, whether you want a stairwell or not, first of all, and secondly, how you would like that to look. And that kind of brings us to today, the response that we had.
Hi.
Hi.
Mike is on part one.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike.
Hello.
Hi. I was just reviewing.
Hi. Who's this?
This is Margaret, your
Hey,
vice
Margaret, how are you?
your vice chair.
No, you're in charge today.
Yeah. So I was just reviewing where we had been, and was just about to say that the feedback that we had gotten back from Town Square is that they would prefer to have the stairwell attached to this wall that the articulated concrete block is attached to, and that they would also like to have a roofing over the stairway. So in order to look at that of course would be a change in the plan, which again, I will remind everybody, DES has not said yes to any of this as yet. But if we were to put in a stairwell attached to this wall that we are going to build, putting in the stairwell alone would cost another $5,000 on top of the current cost. Correct?
That's correct.
Correct. And then, if in fact we were to put a covering over that stairwell in addition, it would cost an additional $15,000 over the current plan.
Over the current plan, an additional $10,000, a total of $15,000 more than the current plan.
So that's where we kind of are with this. And again, I can't stress this enough. DES has not said yes to any of this yet because we are trying to work with DES to get a smaller footprint of articulated concrete block approved before we go after some of the other things that we may want. Originally, they had suggested a much larger area, which of course would be much more expensive.
I'm breaking up so that I understand the gist of what we're talking about.
Okay.
Now, is Tim there?
Yep, I'm here.
Yep. So Tim is here. Okay, so Tim, now we want to hear.
Yeah, no problem. So I came across this. April Smith brought it to my attention and asked me what my thoughts were on the stairwell. I think that it is important for us to have the stairway there. For one, it services our businesses. It also services a service corridor for us to get to the lower part of the Adventure Center. It services for many uses. And I think that if we don't put stairs in, we're going to end up with people just trampling the grass.
Yeah.
And we're never going to be able to maintain it.
Or we'd have to put up a fence or something, you know, because the DES won't want us to be going up and down that face of
Yeah.
the dam.
Yeah, and that's going to cut that off, and that's
Right.
going to do detriment to the
Mhm.
business.
Right.
And so
Yep.
we need to find a way around that.
Sure.
So we looked at putting it on the building. The problem with putting it on the building is that it's a drip edge. The water is going to come directly off the roof, landing directly on the staircase. And no matter what surface we put on that staircase, we're always going to have that drip there. It's always going to be eroding that.
Yeah.
So the I forget what it's called, toe wall or the
knee wall.
knee wall
Yeah.
that the articulated block is connected to. I
Yeah.
believe it goes from the corner of the doorway of the athletic center directly to the corner of the building.
It's actually at an
So-
angle.
It's like that,
Yes, roughly.
correct?
Yeah.
I'll show you.
Roughly.
So you can see where the stairwell is now, and it kind of makes that nice path, arcing path, and the toe wall goes here. So it would make sense for it to kind of look good and go straight up. Makes sense. It would only hit the drip edge at that corner right there. So you'd have a little bit of a drip edge still that would land on top of that stairwell, but it would be for the most part out of the drip edge. So then the next thought was, well, if it was connected to the building, what would be the way to connect it to the building? As you can see, the drip edge goes all the way across the top of the building. So that's going to fall directly onto whatever we put as a structure down here, unless we put a gable roof over it. And then if that snow does fall off, or that ice, or the water from the rain, whatever, it'll fall into that. Now that's kind of a second rate option to me, only due to the fact that when you think about the way you walk down that staircase, you'd be looking directly at the wall of the door, so it would feel somewhat like it's going nowhere. So that was kind of my two thoughts on it. Now, the stairwell coming down on the knee wall, I had my concerns about what materials we're using. If it's only $5,000, I know how much it costs me to do stairwells up at the mountain. That's not a very robust stairway, in my opinion.
The problem with making the stairway too robust is we run the risk of changing the flow calculations, because the more water we retain, when those calculations start changing, it changes the articulated concrete block requirements, and you start changing velocities and everything else. So I think you can do different things, but it's going to change the engineering and what DES allows us to do.
So I guess the question
an
is,
issue.
what type of stair is this?
I really
For
have,
$5,000?
we don't know yet.
It's not
We-
$5,000 though, it's $5,000
It's
on top of
5,000 on top of the
No.
14. It's
Five-
5,000 additional dollars.
The original $5,000 it says for the staircase in a proposal one.
Yeah.
That's
No.
$5,000 for staircase.
No,
Option
Right.
one. attached to
option
the-
one, it went $9,000 for the construction of the wall
Correct.
and $5,000 for the stairs that
Attached
were
to the building.
connected to the building.
So for $5,000,
Yeah.
what type of stairs
I-
are they?
They have not
Is it
given
wood?
us
Is it-
plans, it's wood, it is a wood construction, but I don't know the particulars of the design or anything like that. But they are trying to put up a usable structure that's not going to create any problems for the flow analysis. So they're trying to have as little impact on that as they can. But I don't know the specifications of what they have designed to this point.
So my concern would be is that
Mhm.
I just want to end up with 2x12 wood staircase that looks like it's going to be a construction staircase. We're replacing a concrete staircase that, although it's older, has some physical appeal to it.
Mhm.
It's got a nice walkway to it, and I just want to make sure we replace it with light property.
We will do what we can without changing the flows. That's gonna be our driving force, is getting something permitted
I understand.
by DES.
I understand. I just want to make
So-
sure we're taking the nature of the aesthetics
Mhm.
into account here.
Yeah.
As
And
much
that
as
drip
we
edge
The
can.
$5,000
Yeah.
doesn't seem to be, and the drip edge is really a major concern.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think we could run into a hazard.
Can
Yeah,
I interject
Mike.
for a second?
Go ahead, Mike.
Coming out, getting every third word or so.
Ah,
Just a macro thought to throw a little bit of a even bigger push into the thought here. What would it be like if we eliminated the staircase? And wouldn't that be better for the merchants to force all the traffic down through the lower courtyard?
No, we already have traffic issues, like at 4th of July or some time like that when you can hardly get through.
If you do that, Mike, we would be forced to put up some sort of barrier to keep people off of the face where they are
Yeah,
currently.
no, that's what I'm thinking. Or if we could just have a basic staircase coming down and a barrier that shuts it off during certain times of the year. You know, if there's going to be snow, ice, things like that. Or you could make your main focus of our guests coming down through the courtyard by the bathroom. And just, use an adequate staircase during times where the weather's perfect. Just a thought.
Okay.
well, we obviously don't have a final decision
Well,
on this.
we don't, but we need to know from an engineering. Our engineers there will be redesign work that
Right.
needs to be done. If our decision is to attach the staircase to the wall and not to the building. So, and they need to start doing that.
No, I'm aware of that.
Okay,
Well, that's really kind
We
of the
need-
decision that we need at this point is,
Yeah.
are we gonna keep
Yeah.
it attached to the building? Or are we going to ask the engineers to design something attached to the wall, which then we'll have to go to DES to see if they would approve it?
Okay. And now, another thing, as a town, are we allowed to assess a betterment?
We are not allowed to, we just got done talking to bond counsel. We're not allowed to spend any of the bond proceeds on private business
No.
interests. As long as it's a
What I'm saying is,
public
are we
thing,
allowed
it's
to
okay.
assess a betterment? That's my question.
A betterment assessment?
Meaning that if we were to take the town money and pay for these add-ons and then increase the tax to that building over a 5-year period to pay it back, is that something we can do as a town?
No, we cannot.
We don't have the right to do a betterment on anyone. If someone were to put a water line into their house and didn't have the cash, we couldn't put it in for them and finance it over a few years?
That's correct. We cannot. Tax rate has to be the same for everybody.
I understand, but do towns in New Hampshire have the ability to create that's a betterment?
In some cases in fees, but not within the tax rate. But yeah, you can have an agreement with an organization and you can do that
Yeah,
as a
Mike,
town,
as,
but
yeah,
not
so
as part of the tax rate.
yeah, as an example,
we're putting in the water system
Right.
out on River Road. There
Yes.
was an incentive in fees, not in
That's right,
taxes,
not in
for
tax.
people to
Okay.
sign up at that time.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Okay, so there might be some way where it's an or that we can help them defer the payment against some kind of fee for a while.
Right.
But this goes back to borrowing your car from your father when you were 16 years old. When you borrow the car, you return it in better condition than you borrowed it at. I just ask that when we take these stairs out, we return it to the like condition or better from the stairs that we are taking out. That's all I ask.
replaced the way they are?
Sure, that'd be
If
great.
the same
Well,
But
or
we can't
better,
have those.
the same or better
Okay.
as when, as they are
Same,
now.
same as if we had to dig up your front yard and put the sewer through.
And is that
We
an
want
option,
solid.
Mike?
Of putting them, well, attaching them to the building was our option of replacing the stairs because the stairs cannot go back where they are now.
I'm sorry, I lost the third word there. What, where they are now?
The
Okay.
stairs cannot go back where they are now. And we all understand that, that's just, that DES has said they have to be removed from where they currently are. Our proposal, the town's proposal, was to attach them to the building to give the same access from the upper level of Town Square to the lower level to the path. And that's what we came up with.
I gotcha.
And then attaching them to the wall, DES said, okay, design them and we'll look at them attached to the building. We're okay with that. Attaching them to the wall, though, we have not asked DES about that. We don't even know if they will let us do it that way. That's my only concern, is that it's gonna cause them, for whatever reason, to have a problem with the flow calculations because we're adding this set of stairs in the middle of that's what our engineer is telling us.
But couldn't the stairs go on the other side of the knee wall? Isn't there a space there between the building and the knee wall?
No, the flow is everything coming over the dam all the way to the building. So anything we put in that area where the ACB is going to cause a potential issue, is what our engineers are telling us. Do I have that wrong?
No.
Okay.
What has Ryan said about that?
Ryan says that they need to do additional engineering, redesign of the knee wall if we're going to attach these stairs to the wall.
Did he give you a price for that?
No. The only cost estimates that we have are on construction. But before,
This is gonna cost him to give us the engineering on that, so we know if it's going to create an issue with the water levels and all the other stuff.
well, I think a lot of that will be driven by DES, by whether or not DES says you gotta go back and redo the calculations. I'm sure changing their plans it's not gonna be that expensive to do that. What I'm more worried about is when they take that redesign back to DES, are they gonna be made to redo their flow calculations because we're putting a new structure that DES wasn't expecting?
Yeah.
So the other
Wouldn't
option
it
would
be-
be to do it in the building. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Wouldn't it be possible to just put heavier duty armoring under and around the stairways? I mean, surely the engineers could find a way to anchor that stairway better.
Except that increases the cost.
Well, yeah.
Okay, and you don't just put in a bigger piece of concrete. Their DES, if we were doing it, probably yes, we would just put in a larger ACB structure or whatever. DES is not gonna let us just do that. They are gonna want the engineers to go back and show them, they've already made them do another 3 weeks of work on flow calculations. I don't even know why, just because they felt like it.
So maybe the easiest
so-
way is to stay attached to the building,
Right.
but the only problem with staying attached to the building
Is
is
the
we're
drip
directly under the drip
And,
edge. So
and we can
the roof would
address,
be the one that would
okay,
fix that, is to just
Yep.
encase it. Still not the best, but at least it's something.
right. We can look at that, and I can find out for you what their thought was on the $5,000 for what they were putting in, and then going with a more substantial structure. I don't
The
So
other
that
one
we
you
can
may want to
include
ask
roof.
is if it would be better with a galvanized stair tread, simple handrail, so the water can flow through the stair.
Maybe.
Um,
We could look
so
at that
that's
too.
another option you could put on
Sure.
the knee wall that would also solve the problem.
Yeah, I just really want to, if it's at all possible, if we can find a way to do it, of not affecting that knee wall.
Yeah.
And not forcing us to go back to DES and ask about getting permission to attach something to that
Yeah.
wall.
And I think it's
I really think that's
then probably the answer is put the roof on the stairwell so that we don't
Attached
have
to
any
the
falling ice or water or anything like that
okay.
hurting the coming towards the
Are
public.
you okay with
Do
that?
we have to get another estimate for that?
No, I don't. I don't. I think we
It
can
looked
just.
like we had 3 choices there.
Well, the three
and we
choices
didn't have that
were.
one.
Because I misunderstood what you had asked for. I thought that the roof was over the stairway on the knee wall.
Yeah.
So, I think just asking them to cover the existing design that they have on the building is not gonna cause any real redesign.
I would like to see that design.
Oh, yeah, no, we're
Obviously,
gonna-
I have a
nothing's
responsibility to
gonna-
make sure all of that is.
Nothing is gonna get
steps.
built until we see
Great.
plans for it, obviously. So.
Okay.
Are you guys okay with us just covering the roof on the building, or the stairs on the?
You got that,
building?
Mike?
I do, I'm getting every third word, but it
I
looks
know.
like you guys are coming to a step forward, so I'm probably gonna sign off, because it's a little bit aggravating.
Okay, no problem, I'll brief you when you get back, Mike.
Okay, Mike.
All right.
We'll see you.
Thanks, folks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Okay, anything else?
No,
Awesome.
I think that's it.
I think that's it for today.
Cover
Yep.
the stairway and.
Cover the stairway
Talk
and
about
get
it
you
in May.
pictures.
Fantastic.
All
Thank you
right.
very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Do we have any other privilege of the floor? Okay, and we will go into approval of minutes. Let's see, from the March 28th regular meeting. Do you have anything?
I have just one thing, very bottom there. Line 157.
Oh, yes. Thank
Other
you.
than that, I think
Thanks, Tim.
everything looks okay.
I will correct that. I think it was Mike. Oh, no, I think that you adjourned, actually.
I don't remember, but.
I'll have to look at my
Bill
notes.
wasn't here.
Yes, yes. So
Maybe
I
in
will,
spirit.
Yes.
I will make those
On the other
adjustments.
hand,
Maybe not. He's done.
Yeah, he's done.
Other than that, I had nothing.
And we don't have April 4th yet, right?
No.
Correct?
No, we do not.
Okay, so we'll table that until next meeting.
And that was a dart, by the way. Your
Okay,
reading
can
was
I
very
have
tough.
a motion to approve the March 28th regular meeting
I
minutes?
so move.
I will second, all in favor? Aye. Okay. Financial report, Mark.
28.9% through the year. Obviously, just our winter maintenance budget is 100% spent. So hopefully there'll be.
But
Well,
winter
I
is
can't say
over.
hopefully there'll be no snow in November or December. Tim left, so that's good. He didn't hear me say that.
I'll say it.
Yeah, right. No, but that's really the only place that we're significantly ahead in any way right now. Everything else is pretty much on track.
Any questions?
No.
I don't either, okay. Do we move on to calendar review? Next board meeting is April 25th,
That's correct.
and planning board is tomorrow
Tomorrow at 8.
at 8, and
Yep.
tomorrow is when the planning board is going to be discussing the interpretation
Yes.
of the
Yes.
sign.
Rich has that. It is on the
Okay.
agenda.
That'd be
He'll
good.
be going
I'm going to be a little late, but I will be
Okay.
there.
over. All right.
Okay, and then Mark, you wanted to reschedule the May 9th meeting?
Yeah, we have a couple of conflicts with staff schedules and also the Conservation Commission wanted to have a meeting on the 9th, so,
On the
or
24th,
on the 24th.
23rd or
So,
24th, whatever it was.
So if we could move the 9th to the 16th, and then have the second meeting of the month instead of the 23rd on the 30th. And I'll find out from Mike what his schedule is, but he didn't have anything else that he brought up at the last meeting, travel-wise. So the 16th and the 30th work,
Yep, they.
Yeah, I could do that.
and that doesn't create any conflicts or needs of you guys, yes? Right, so let's go with 16 and 30, May. That'd be awesome.
Okay, department head updates. Brooke,
This week we had a fishing derby meeting. I'll let Dave elaborate on that, but we're getting that going. Looking forward to May 26th. We also have our community cleanup scheduled for May 11th. It's a Friday. It's a community cleanup, so we'll be putting the word out to the whole community 11 a.m. to 12:30, and then lunch afterwards at the multipurpose room, the rec. We're collaborating with the Ray Center to include some of their gardens and things that need to be cleaned up as well for this, instead of them doing their own cleanup, which they were thinking about doing. Massachusetts Vacation Week, we have extra programming planned for that. Not too much, but definitely some extra stuff.
when does that come up, Brooke?
That happens next week.
Next week.
Yeah. So I don't know. People maybe or actually this weekend. So
This weekend is
closing
the
weekend.
last weekend.
Okay, and then also the gym floors are scheduled to be done over the New Hampshire vacation week.
Which is
The
the
last.
following
The
week?
following week,
Yeah.
correct?
Last week of April.
Which,
And we will be closed, including pickleball.
yeah, everything will be closed for that week.
And we've communicated that.
Yeah,
with them.
that's
It's
people are
standard.
used to that
Yeah,
by
it's
now.
standard.
That's also traditionally when Nelson and I go on vacation. So. That's it.
That.
Okay. Dave, public safety?
Chris is on vacation, and knock on
Turks
wood,
and
there's
Caicos,
no,
should I
yeah,
say?
no major fires, nobody quit.
Yeah, but
wreck
he
any-
isn't back
Wreck
yet,
any
so-
vehicles yet. Usually something bad happens when he's away.
Nothing is burned up?
No, so far so good. Just getting ready. Looks like we're gonna get delivery of the cruiser scheduled for next week, and upfit for the first week of May. So hopefully they'll be up on the road early May. Drug Take Back Day is scheduled for April 28th. It's a Saturday here. We did it last year. Probably got about 8 pounds of prescription medications turned in from residents. So we'll advertise. I was pretty impressed. It was a lot more than I thought we'd get. So we'll advertise it and put it out on Nixle, and anyone who wants to drop off their unused medications, they can. We got a Safe and Active grant through Dartmouth Hitchcock for 25 bike helmets and other activities related to bike safety stuff. The only hitch is we have to do a bike safety class, which we typically do twice a year anyway. So that's actually a pretty nice. Highway Safety used to do that, so it's nice that they've taken over that program. Joe Nuricchio's a little more than halfway through the academy. Doing well. He's 13th out of 35, so we'll be glad when we get him back. And if anyone's asking, I'm curious about the hydrant near Town Square. That was a hit and run accident. An arrest warrant has been issued for the individual responsible. And we're working out the details with our insurance company.
Wish we were kidding, but he's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And the only thing, we've got some training with Thornton coming up, active shooter. I'll be teaching a tabletop exercise for regional tabletop exercise for the Thornton Central School. And then we'll be actually doing a live practical exercise at the school May 5th. Last week I taught civilian response to active shooter to 37 staff at the Thornton School, so which was pretty well received. Our school had already gone through it, and I was asked to go give them the class also. That's all I have.
Alrighty, Jim, public works.
Well, in reference to the damaged hydrant, as soon as the ground lets up a little bit, a little more frost goes out, we do have to dig down a little bit to ascertain just exactly what we need for pieces, parts, and whatnot to fix that. So once we make the list, we'll get the parts and we'll fix the hydrant. Other than that, we'll continue to bear-proof all our dumpsters that we can. We did have a visit sometime early Tuesday morning, I think. And
It was 10:47 p.m.
10:47 p.m.
Did you get that call?
Did they sign in?
Actually, yes, they stood for a portrait.
They stood for a picture. They stood for a
Is that
picture.
right?
Yeah.
They left a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. He actually came up, the tracks are actually right outside the door. He walked right around the building here, right in the snow. I was just out with the radio guy.
So, we did do a little work on our drop-off lot down here. We put a new floor in and trying to catch up on some little stuff while we continue to look at the other things that we can't quite get to yet. So,
How are the roads doing, Jim?
roads just seem to be fine.
Posting, how
Posting?
much longer?
I would suspect that after this warm spell that we get over this weekend, that we can expect to take most of the posted road bans off. Some
We've got
companies,
some potholes and cracks
Yep.
and things like that going on.
Yep.
Inventorying those, I assume, yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
and typically we take a look at those, and once the frost is gone, a lot of that stuff will just kind of settle back. But potholes and stuff, we've been after.
Yeah, I also noticed at the base of, I can never remember the road that Tecumseh is on. Yeah, the Tecumseh condominiums.
Oh, Osceola.
Osceola Road, okay. So at the base of that road where you're
Mm-hmm.
always nice enough to plow it out in the winter so people can go across there, I noticed that whole stretch of road has no grading beside it at all.
Right.
The stone is basically gone.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Anything? No? Okay. All right, on to new business. Review and sign the water and sewer bill warrant.
The revenue numbers are included in the expenditure report, so 25% water, 26% wastewater, and 22% trash on this. So this is a typical quarter.
Okay. Alright, and we have some road engineer proposals for town entrance project.
Jim, you wanna go over these?
Yeah.
So we received two proposals back, one from Horizons Engineering and one from Hoyle Tanner.
We only had one in the packet.
Yes,
That's correct.
so the Hoyle Tanner, or the Horizons one is the second one that we got in. So the one that you have in your packet is Hoyle Tanner.
Yeah, and the other one is from Horizons Engineering. And as far far as everything, Mark and I met with, we had a conference call with Hoyle Tanner, and then we met face to face with Horizons. As far as the scope of the project and everything, both proposals are typically are the same. There is no glaring differences in services that will be provided or expected from either company. The Horizons quote came in a little bit less than the Hoyle Tanner quote for services. Even if they did do some, they did carry adults for utility markings and some borings if need be. And even with those add alternates added into the base price, they're at $28,400 versus the $32,575. Yeah.
Do you know both of these firms?
Yes. Horizons has done quite a bit of work for the mountain. They've also done quite a bit of work in the past for Waterville Company. The only real thing that we do know about Hoyle Tanner, other than they're a large, reputable firm, is that Joe Ducharme had left CMA Engineers and was hired by Hoyle Tanner, and he's our contact there. So there is some familiarity
with individuals.
Right. Individual.
Hoyle Tanner actually did a lot of engineering work for the town back in the late 90s, early 2000s. When I first got here, they were doing most of the water and wastewater work here in town. So they have a general understanding of our town, but Joe was the contact that we had talked about, reaching out to somebody with familiarity about the town. So that's.
And this is only for the engineering portion?
Just for the engineering portion, and both of the bids are below our $50,000 engineering allowance, so that's good news.
And both, actually, so just so that you do know, it's a fairly straightforward project. There is no real, there's some money in either proposal for on-site supervision of contractors. So there's money in there for more for checking.
Inspection.
For inspections. Yeah. I guess the whole thing is that I will communicate on a daily basis with the selected engineering firm as to what is going on and if we need any, and if I think we need any further guidance from them for any unanticipated things that may come up.
And the construction process will be a whole separate bidding?
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, two other bids, and one of them's a sign contractor, which we have a meeting on Monday with the Town Core Working Group. So there will be recommendations from them on a sign contractor.
Okay.
And then we will have a bidding process for the actual construction company. That'll do the road work and all that.
Okay. So do you have a recommendation? We would
To
normally
Horizons.
we would normally go with the low bidder if we were confident in both.
Well, we're confident in both, and I think that given the project and the level to which we have funded it, I think we should go with
Try to save money. We may need it on other parts.
We may need it. So.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So do you need a motion from the
Yes,
selectmen?
please.
You want to make the motion?
I make a motion to go with the Horizon bid.
I will second that motion. All in favor? Aye.
All right. Good. I'll let them know.
Do we have a new town website to look at?
We do.
So
Sharon's been working.
this is, I've been working with them
Virtual town-
designing
That's
this.
the TV.
Virtual town hall.
So what have we done to change it? Can you just highlight that?
The whole front page that you see is a lot cleaner overall. There's less busyness, less, has the same information and probably more information on the front page, but it's just not as cluttered. You'll see this Find It Fast is where we had down at the base of the main page prior, or the present page now, is where the quick links were. So plans, tax maps, zoning maps, voter information, these are just quick links to get to those areas. So you can get right in there. And it's not all labeled on that front page. So just not having that writing and those links, but you can get to it. The main part of the website is a responsive platform. So whatever type of, if you're on your phone, a tablet, or your laptop, it's going to adapt to whatever platform that you're using. The previous platform was strictly a computer platform, so when you viewed it on your telephone, your laptop, even if it was small, your tablet rather, it shrunk down to such a small size it was barely usable. When you changed it to a desktop version, it was tiny. This will adapt its format, shrink everything, kind of rearrange it, but it will still have everything that's on the main site. If you, let's see, looking under here under departments, we have the general, what we have listed currently, but it's overall it's cleaner, the colors. I mean, I guess that's the main part. One of the things on the current site now, we had an e-services for our electronic payments, which explaining that to a lot of people when they called, I can't find where to pay my bill. Well, let's just call it pay bills. It's simple. And once you get to this page, it's the same looking page, but let's just call it what it is. It's pay bills. The forms and documents. Come on. Well, there we go. Everything is going to be it's a lot cleaner overall.
Yeah, and
Everything's
but all of the same information is there,
Mm-hmm.
and we have, we've made small tweaks to update some of the information, but most of it is we basically just took our existing pages and brought them into this better format.
There will be some elimination of some things that are duplicated in different areas that just took up space on the website. That wasn't necessary. I think once we explained it better where things are in this site, we won't need them posted in 3 or 4 different places.
Virtual Town Hall has reached out to a lot of communities, and I was just going through a few of their other towns that they do, and a lot of towns have moved to this different layout. So everybody's kind of migrating this way.
Yep, the town calendar as such, you can see everything comes up that's an upcoming event, rather than having to scroll through each month and see it. So you can view it all. News, again, you can view it all, or the top 3 or 4 stories are highlighted. Our subscribe section, oh, there they are. So you can see we have everything on there that has been news, and you can just scroll through it.
Before we were limited to what, about 5 or 6?
It was 5 or 6 that was on there, and then you had to dig deeper to find it.
Do you still have your blog?
I have started.
It's
He
right
started
here.
it. It's right there.
So he will, yeah. And subscribing to the different notification lists, whether it's for agendas or minutes or just urgent alerts, same format. But it's a lot of people ask why we get the calls. How come I didn't know about this meeting, or how come I didn't get the news? And they're not subscribed to the website and forward receiving it. So whenever when new people come into town now and they're going through the residency process, we give them all that information as to you need to sign up for Nixle, notices through our website, and Code Red through Grafton County. Those are the 3 notification things that everybody should sign into, how much they want to receive. The meetings on demand, which would be what we're doing here right now. We are going to be working and finding another live meeting program. This one Ustream right now. Coincidentally, it on town meeting day on the 15th of March, their support stopped on the current platform, and we can't do live meetings anymore because of it. So we are recording this one presently, and we'll upload it to YouTube tomorrow. So that will be a new link right there, but we will be doing that still. Getting it.
Are there other firms out there that will do it live?
There are other options. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And we'll find one that's the Ustream was a free service.
And we may have a PD involved, but we'll.
Yeah. But overall, that's
It looks good, Sharon.
that's it, and it's kind of the picture across the top was kind of something that was tried to encompass the blend of the valley and some aerial photos, the mountains, the different seasons, and activities.
So if you're okay with this, we can go live.
Okay.
As
You okay
you
with
don't
this?
have any
I'm
problem.
okay with this. Looks good. Good work.
Okay.
Okay, Corcoran Pond Dam update. Did we already do that?
I think we're pretty well. We are 75% engineering has been approved by DES as of yesterday afternoon. So we're going to continue on. I'll let the engineers know to add a roof to the building stairwell and see what they can come up with. And we'll work with the mountain on the design and try to keep it as close to the current cost as we possibly can.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything else we needed? I don't think so.
Bond financing.
Yes. So you have a new sheet. In my discussion with the executive director at the bond bank, to tell her that the board had decided to go with a 20-year note. She did ask about any other proposals that we had received, so I shared the other 2 with her, and she said, we have a better 15-year rate than Northway has. It's going to be slightly more than the 20-year rate that you had decided on, but you can see on the sheet that it does not change the estimate from the Northway. It does save us $32,000 in interest costs over Northway, but it is $89,000 less expensive interest-wise on the 20-year note. So
And Mark, does it meet our criteria?
It does. Yes, it does. It does. So it actually has slightly less overall impact on our the 5 years that are impacted being above our guidance, but it doesn't significantly increase. does not significantly increase the numbers from the 20 years.
So, for spending less on interest, if it keeps our tax rate relatively flat.
So do we need to rescind that previous decision, or?
Yeah, if you
how
could
would you-
just decide to go with the 15-year note, stay with the bond bank, but go with a 15-year note instead of the 20-year note, I think that would be sufficient. We just got done speaking with bond counsel. There will be paperwork between now and May 8th that she will have that will require a selectmen's meeting for you to vote on a resolution to actually adopt the formal language that she needs. But that's standard for what we have done in the past.
Okay.
And I'll let you know as soon as we have that. She wasn't sure when she would get that to us. The timing may work out that we have it for the next regular meeting. And if we have it, we'll include it on the agenda. Otherwise, it may take a quick special meeting to adopt that resolution.
Okay, but for right now, you just need us to propose
Just-
that instead of going with the 20-year bond, we go with the 15-year bond
At 3%.
at 3%. Make that proposal.
I would like to propose that we shift to the 15-year, 3.5% bond with the bond bank buys the 20-year that we had previously.
Yep. 3.0.
3.0.
3.5 is Northwood.
I will second it.
Good.
All in favor? Aye.
All right.
Taxpayers some money.
Save 32,000. Look, the taxpayers made $32,000 today.
Over how many years?
Over 15 years.
Oh, wow, all right.
Over the next 15 years.
Do we have anything
I'll
else?
take it.
A couple thousand
I
a year,
don't
right?
have the privilege of the floor too here, but do we have anything else from those in the audience?
Any questions back? I bet that's a school thing, isn't it? All right. Good. All right.
Okay. Board concerns and directives. No, none at this time. All right. So.
I do have one personnel matter under non-public. for you.
Right. So we're going to go into non-public at 4:52 p.m.
352.
3:52.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It does.